when I was growing up, games, online games, or Nintendo games were for kids. And then it became games where tambays can spend the whole day just being in mga gaming shops. But before we knew it, it became a sport. There's esports and there's global world championships. People could build a career around playing sports or esports. So today we've invited someone who knows esports a lot or gaming to help us understand what this is and hopefully guide parents and even kids on how to navigate this world of esports. Sir RJ, the Pokemon host of the Philippines and master game host. Tell us about gaming and esports. What is this all about? And where is it now? The intro was when I was growing up, it was just for kids. Now even adults play it.
Yeah. I actually came from Singapore last week or the other week, presenting a study on the local esports scene for the Pokemon video game. I've been involved in that for over 10 years now. And back then, it was a lot of us, a lot of teenagers, a lot of young adults were coming together to organize certain events. And now it's one of the longest standing gaming communities in the Philippines of over 10 years already. And we're not even a big gaming community compared to we have like the large games like Valorant, Mobile Legends, etc., where anyone and everyone could join essentially. Yeah.
Wala na ba yung stigma na if you're called a gamer na wala, you're throwing your life away? Na parang wala kang plano sa buhay, wala kang career, kaya nga gaming ka lang ng gaming. Nandun pa ba yung stigma na yon, or is there still a reality for some na once they get into gaming, it's like they're throwing their life away?
There is still a possibility, and there's still some risks involved. Of course, addiction can come in any hobby and any form anyway. But now it's a regular part of life. It's something that you do. Dati, sanay tayo na kapag hapon, maglalaro tayo sa labas. Ngayon, kapag hapon, I'm getting on Discord. I'm talking to my friends over chat. And maybe I'll even stream my own gameplay on my personal Facebook page. So it's a regular thing now.
How has it improved in terms of it keeping it social? Kasi when it started, when I was playing Nintendo, I was stuck in my room,
yes.
right? So that meant that I was not playing with other kids. So it sacrificed my social development when I became a gamer. So anong nangyari over the years na para na-sustain siya at na-correct yung the downside of gaming?
It's just the progression of technology that accommodated more people to play. And the boom of certain games and certain locations. Like we give a big props to mga pillars in gaming like Counter-Strike back then at mga computer shops. That's when it started becoming social. Because now, inaaya ko ni mga kaibigan ko na, mag-com shop tayo mamaya. And it becomes a more social activity. And then when we got to the pandemic, where everyone was left at home, instead of gaming becoming an isolating activity, it actually became the activity that connected you with others. So it's now completely the opposite.
So should parents worry when their kids start getting really serious into gaming? Na parang, mag-basketball ka na lang, wag ka nang lang mag-Valorant or mga ganon. So meaning, tell us the reality of it. Does it lead to a kid becoming less healthy and less successful versus if the kid chose a regular sport?
This is very funny because the World Health Organization actually categorized it as an actual pathological thing back in the what year was that? 2012 or something. But in the same way that you could also throw your life away just playing basketball in the afternoon every afternoon, that same thing could happen for gaming. Of course, there's more. It's more prone to addiction because there's much more stimuli involved in gaming, and also more gambling involved in gaming.
Is there though a certain kind of danger that exists in the life of a gamer that parents should watch out for? That does not exist in a regular sport.
Gaming communities. It's very I mean, it's known that especially in the Philippines, people can be very toxic when it comes to gaming, in the same way that they are toxic in social media. Now, the difference is in gaming, the toxicity can come from people you're supposed to be allies with.
Mm-hmm.
Where in social media, you're just attacking individuals.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it comes to gaming, you're supposed to be working towards the same goal. But when someone is perceived to not be carrying their own weight, people start attacking them, calling them names, and labeling them certain things.
Correct. And you're hearing it on your earphones.
Yes. Or in
So-
chat.
So
Yes.
ibig sabihin, the kid might be playing and he might look happy, but there might be some serious mental health parang threats. Tama ba yun?
Yes. Finding a good gaming community is very important for sure.
Now, how can the parents know? How can they check?
One way, or one of the tells at least, is people they follow. So influencers they follow. Because a lot of these influencers, when it comes to gaming, they have their own Discord servers, their own Reddit communities, and how the streamer or the influencer acts, of course, that dictates a lot of the culture in the actual spaces and the people who follow them. So if your kid is following a very toxic influencer, you might want to check how their communities look like. Maybe ganun din pala yung communities.
Pero
nila.
the kid would not open up if you kept nagging the kid about the gaming, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, kung nandyan na yung bata, don't nag the kid about it. In fact, monitor the kid. Who's he following? Who's he with? To make sure that he's mentally protected. Tama ba
Yeah,
yan?
actually ask if sino yung favorite streamer mo ngayon? Is there sino yung
And then the dad
pinapanood
asked
mo?
ChatGPT about who's this streamer.
or you can just open the stream whenever he's watching. You could watch together even and see, oh, this is the person my child likes to watch. Ganito pala yung personality ng favorite na personality niya.
Ito lang yun na notice ko, Arch. Grabe yung cursing. Grabe yung pagmumura.
Yes.
Like, grabe talaga yung pagmumura. Like,
People get very creative.
is that part of the culture? There's no escaping that.
I would think that there's escaping it for sure. And some cultures are more prone than others because some games have chat, others don't. Some have voice, others don't. So it still varies depending on the game for sure.
If there's a national sports association monitoring all the basketball kids or the taekwondo kids or all the table tennis kids, is there some sort of a parang a community that watches over, let's say, Valorant players, Pokemon players? Meron bang ganung oversight?
This is actually a very interesting thing because the difference with traditional sports and esports is that no one owns basketball. No one owns badminton. No one owns tennis. But someone owns Valorant. So now, unless Riot or whoever developer, Blizzard or whoever else, puts up their own association, any other association surrounding it is never official.
Okay.
Because the game developers are the final say no matter what. And when they decide na, I want to introduce voice chat now in my game, now the culture changes completely also. And it's always just contingent on what the developers come up with.
Okay, so it's really the community policing itself.
Yes, it's the community policing itself.
So, just to end, to the parents, maybe it's a good reassurance na there's a social part to it, meaning they're not really hiding and alone, but that comes with risks, just like with any community. Pero yung ano yung encouragement na how do you balance the mental and social part of it with the physical part naman? How should parents navigate that part kung ang bata doesn't really want to leave the house anymore or yung kanyang gaming setup?
Well, I guess it's just a matter of making like other things more interesting also.
Like you, how did you pick up weightlifting and diba, while being a gamer, you're able to balance both your physical and your gaming life?
I am able to balance it because I care about my own health and my family cares about health very deeply. So showing that you maybe as a family member, a sister, a brother, a parent also care about their hobbies, then I'm sure they'll also start caring about things you value also, like going out, spending time together for physical activities. That matters also.
So what's your message to parents of gamer kids out there, Arj?
Message to parents of gamer kids: try playing their game. Really do try playing their game. I have one very favorite TED talk. I forgot who spoke about it, but they were a single parent and they were trying to get to know their kids better, and they were going to remarry. So one of their bonding activities was having the person that they were going to like partner with play the same game with their kid. And it became a great bonding experience for everyone involved. And if you want to get to know what your child is going through, what makes them happy, what makes them frustrated, then find out what actually happens in the game itself. Yeah.
Thank you. Like any hobby, there can be excesses. You can throw your life away, according to RJ, playing basketball the whole day in the same way that you can playing Pokemon or an online game. But parents need to be vigilant because in any community, there will be good eggs and bad eggs. So we need to take care of the mental health of our kids while allowing them to enjoy their chosen sport.